Somewhere on this planet right now, a billionaire is sitting in a living room the size of a basketball court. There's a chef in the kitchen, a cinema down the hall, a swimming pool on the upper deck, and beneath all of it, not concrete, not solid ground, water. These are the world's most extraordinary floating mansions. Private islands that move, super yachts disguised as homes, man-made paradises built on the open sea. Today we're counting down 10 of the most insane, most luxurious floating homes ever built, where the price tags are jaw-dropping and the lifestyle is unlike anything most of us will ever know. Let's get into it. Number 10, the Ark-Up Houseboat, Miami. We start in Miami, where one company decided that floating homes needed a complete reinvention. The Ark-Up is not your grandfather's houseboat. This is a fully solar-powered, hurricane-resistant floating villa that uses hydraulic legs to grip the seabed and lock itself in place during storms. Inside, floor-to-ceiling glass, open-plan living, a rooftop deck with panoramic water views. It runs entirely on solar power. No fuel, no emissions. Price tag? Around $5 million for a self-sufficient floating mansion that goes wherever you sail it. That might actually be a bargain. Number 9, the Athénée, France. France has always had a gift for making things beautiful. Add floating pods to that list. The Athénée is a circular floating suite that looks less like a home and more like a spacecraft that landed softly on the Mediterranean. A smooth white disc floating on a private pontoon, a glass-ringed living area just above the waterline and below the surface, a transparent underwater lounge where you watch sea life moving beneath your feet in complete silence, rooftop terrace, outdoor hot tub, eco-friendly construction with zero environmental footprint, starting price, around 300,000 euros. Fully customized versions push far beyond that. It doesn't look like a home. It looks like a dream someone managed to waterproof. Number 8, Lake Union Floating Homes, Seattle. Not every floating mansion sits on the open ocean. On Lake Union in Seattle, one of America's most beloved floating home communities has quietly produced some of the most extraordinary residential designs in the country. 3-story homes built on permanent docks, Pacific Northwest architecture, exposed timber, raw steel, massive windows facing the water. Residents wake up on the lake, they kayak to work. They watch float planes take off from their living room windows. Properties here regularly sell for between $2 and $4 million. Proof that floating homes aren't just ocean luxury. Sometimes they're urban poetry. Number 7, the Water Discus, Dubai. What if a floating home didn't just sit on the surface, but went underneath it? The water discus is 2 massive disc structures connected by a central shaft. The upper disc floats above water, restaurants, lounges, open air. The lower disc sinks beneath the surface, with glass-walled suites completely surrounded by the ocean. From inside, fish move past the windows. Coral is visible from the bed. The surface of the sea shimmers above you like a distant ceiling. Estimated construction cost runs into the hundreds of millions of dollars. Not just a floating mansion, a floating civilization. Number 6, Kokomo Island, Maldives. The Maldives, white sand, turquoise water, the kind of place that makes people question every career decision they've ever made. Now, imagine your private island there, except it can move. Kokomo Island is a modular floating island system that can be anchored anywhere in the atoll and reconfigured to match the owner's preferences. Private villas, overwater restaurant, spa, pool, landscaped gardens, all floating on a connected platform. No fixed address, no permanent neighbors, just turquoise water in every direction. Full builds start at several $1 million. Fully expanded versions reach into the tens of millions. That's not a home, that's a superpower. Number 5, the Njord, Norway. Norway knows cold, Norway knows deep water, and Norway knows floating luxury better than almost anyone. The Njord is a floating residential concept designed for Norway's dramatic fjords, those impossibly deep glacier-carved waterways that look like nature drew them with a ruler. Dark wood, exposed steel, huge glass panels facing the mountains. minimal and precise in the way only Scandinavian design can pull off. Every system is built to survive sub-zero temperatures, ice formation, and brutal winter conditions that would destroy a conventional floating home in a single season. Sitting inside on a winter evening, snow falling silently, and the fjord black and still around you. That is a silence most people will never experience. Estimated value exceeds $10 million. Number 4. The extension of Monaco. Monaco is the smallest country in the world. It has the highest concentration of millionaires on Earth, and it ran out of land. So, Monaco decided to make more. The Anse du Portier project extended the entire country outward into the Mediterranean. A new neighborhood built on a floating platform engineered to last 300 years. Private residences on the extension started around $50 million. 300 years. For a floating neighborhood. That's not a home on water. That's a legacy on water. Number 3. The super yacht mansions. Some floating homes are fixed to a location. Others choose to have no location at all. The world's largest private super yachts are over 150 meters long. Multiple pools, helipads, submarine docks, movie theaters, beach clubs, onboard hospitals, wine cellars holding thousands of bottles. They sail between the Mediterranean in summer and the Caribbean in winter. Wherever the owner decides the world looks best. Build cost for the largest vessels runs between $300 million and over $1 billion. Not a floating home, a floating world. Number 2. Amilara Private Islands, Dubai. Off the coast of Dubai sits one of the most audacious real estate projects ever attempted. The world, an artificial archipelago shaped like the world map, offers private island living minutes from one of the richest cities on Earth. The Amilara concept takes it further. Fully private floating island villas, private beach, lagoon pool, boat dock, Dubai's skyline glowing on the horizon. Asking prices reach into the hundreds of millions. Your own corner of the world map. Floating. Private. Extraordinary. Number 1. The Migaloo M5. And at number 1, the most extraordinary floating mansion ever conceived. The Migaloo M5. This is not a yacht, not a houseboat, not a floating hotel. This is a privately owned floating island, 162 meters long, capable of crossing any ocean on Earth without stopping. Multiple swimming pools, a helipad, private beach areas, landscaped gardens with real trees growing above open water, a submarine dock, a cinema, a nightclub, a full spa. The owner's penthouse sits at the very top, 360-degree views from horizon to horizon. It generates its own power. It makes its own water. It needs nothing from the land. Estimated build cost between $500 million and $1.2 billion. The Migaloo M5 doesn't just sit on the water, it owns it. 10 floating mansions, 10 visions of what happens when money meets the ocean and refuses to be told no. From solar-powered houseboats in Miami to billion-dollar vessels crossing open seas. From Norwegian fjord retreats to private islands in the Persian Gulf, the ocean covers 70% of this planet. For most of human history, we built our homes on the 30% that was dry. These people looked at the other 70 and said, why not there?